Nygaard at the net, week 5. That's at the end. He's Jeff Nygaard. I'm David Foley. A great week starting off at UCI. You get a big 4-set win. That second set, UCI actually took it 42-40. It's one of the longest sets in USC history since, I believe, 1970.
That was a crazy match.
Have you ever seen anything like that before?
Well, if I wanted to be honest about it, yes. But for maintaining the how cool it was, no. I saw a match that went 50 once.
Okay.
Yeah. But being a part of it, I was a spectator at the 50, but this one being a part of it, you just saw a high level of a lot of good volleyball. There was a lot of guys doing a lot of things a lot of the time. There wasn't many errors. There was just, there's that situation where sometimes if you put up a perfect block and someone gets a kill, they'll look at you and say, what did I do wrong? And it's just like, well, it's just a good hit. And it was a sustained level of good. Not just that game, but the entire match. So,
Right.
I mean, we had some letdowns. We had some big leads. And then it's not like we all of a sudden played bad. They played good. We had a few plays that just didn't go our way. And then we found a way to win the important game.
Well, they're the 7th-ranked team for a reason. It was a huge win, but what I thought was great was the way the team was able to bounce back. Because you lose a set like that, I mean, how long did that last? I think one of your assistants was something like 50 minutes, roughly.
Yeah, well...
42-40. You lose that on the road at a tough place to play, and you come back and win the next 2 sets and win the match.
Well, one of the things about the makeup of this team and the character of this team is our guys have no problem getting up for the big matches. So, we got to that and we talked about it. I was like, guys, we're playing at a high level. We don't need to change anything. We just sustain what we've been doing. You keep going, keep on the roll. We're siding out great. Our block and defense, we can make a few adjustments, but for the most part, we're timing the block well. They were just hitting well. Saida, in particular, he lit us up in that game, which, kudos to him. So then you just regroup, go back in. I might have spun the dial a little bit rotationally, got some fresh legs to the service line right out of the gate, and we came back and we played at a high level. So our character was good. We maintained the focus and the intensity necessary. And we've shown evidence fairly consistently of how good we can be when we go in and are able to maintain that.
So you play that tough match at UCI, and then you have to bounce back the next night at home against UCSD, and you drop that one in 4 sets. But how difficult of a scenario is that to where you have such an emotional, difficult match on the road, and then you come back and have to play another tough match at home?
One of the best things about playing in the toughest conference is that night after night, you're going to face a tough opponent. We faced a great opponent in UCI, and we were able to come away with a victory, which I felt that we earned, and I felt that we controlled. And then we came out the next night, and I felt that we were a little surprised at times with how good they were going to consistently get kills, make effort plays. They were vastly improved. And I don't think that we played poorly. I felt that we didn't play at the same level that we played against UCI. And they played great. That's a team that actually almost beat UCI in 5 games. So it's not like they were a walk in the park. Could we have ramped up our physicality? Could we have ramped up a few things here and there and cleaned up our side? Absolutely. But you could say the same thing about how we played against UCI. There's always something you can do better. So it was a combination of we came off of a big win. I felt our focus was there, which is why we are so frustrated when we made the errors. It's also that they played a great game. On paper, I'd like to believe that our team should be beating that team 10 times out of 10. But we went in there and we weren't able to handle it. And we went after a big emotional match, probably had quite a bit of physical exertion. We came in and, 25-23, 23-25, 23-25, 23-25. I didn't feel like we were clicking that well. And we still managed to push them to deuce games every single match, every single game.
One cool thing, though, from that night at Galen Center against UCSD, you had the 1977 championship team on hand. Most of the team. How cool is that for you to just meet those guys and have your team meet those guys?
Well, how cool is it for you? You got to interview all those guys.
That's true, I did. And we'll be seeing something with that soon.
That is the history of USC men's volleyball. They went from a team that was, 1 in 16?
They were last place.
1 in 16, and then they won the national title the next year. And you get them up on stage and they're all, I mean, it was cute. They're all, oh, we're so short we couldn't contend. And yet it's like, you guys have the national title ring. Nobody gave it to you. You guys earned it, and you went from this to this. Here is the foundation, the forefathers, the founding fathers, however you want to say it, of what makes USC men's volleyball so great. These are the guys. You look in our locker room, and there's a picture of the 77 team. Well, there they are, live and in color. And it was just a great environment to just have them there, capture their stories, have them relive it, show them their match, and you just watch them. They all got together. I don't know if you saw that when we were playing it, but they all got together in a group and they just started watching, and it was like they were the same guys, the same team. I mean, I heard somebody say, I haven't seen you in 35 years, and yet they got together and like they talked about certain plays during the match. That type of thing to me is, I'm not going to say it's missing, but I have nothing but respect for that type of a group. When they get together, they've earned something that everyone wants. They've worked hard for it. They put in the time, the sacrifice. Everything you could say, all the values that you need in order to be a champion, that's who they were. And then you go forth and, 40 years later, they're still the same guys. And it was amazing. It was a great night.
Well, now we got to get ready this week. You have BYU on Friday.
Yes.
What kind of challenge will they pose?
They're an experienced team. They've been at the top 3 for the past year and a half. They've got a pretty dynamic trio of pin hitters where they've got 6'9" on the pin, 6'6" on the pin, and 6'8" on the pin. And they're all pretty close to 12 feet. So physically, they're just going to be challenging. They're just going to take some big rips. We got to get our backcourt ready to move because they're going to take some big swings to the deep part of the court, and we got to be prepared to go after those balls, pop them high in the middle of the court, and take the big swings when necessary. Offensively, we have to run and make sure we're in system as often as possible, control their serve so that we can attack them and spread out their block. We got to find the weaknesses and we got to expose it. And then serving-wise, we got to be really intelligent with how we go about it. We can't just lollipop it and expect them not to put the ball down on the court. We have to be strategic with everything we do. And when we have someone who's a green light server, take a rip. There's no such thing as holding back when you're playing the top-ranked teams.
Yeah, it's a big match for USC coming up. That's Friday at Galen Center, 7 p.m., USC BYU. That's going to do it for Nygaard at the Net Week 5. We'll catch you next week, and yeah, fight on.
There we go. Fight on.